Big story, morning after morning at 7:05. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Richard B. Morning Show, and we move into the big story. This morning, the Ministry of Education is arranging for students from schools severely affected by Hurricane Melissa to resume lessons through school hosting, as online classes are not feasible at this time. Dr. Kassan Troop, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, has emphasized the ministry's commitment to ensuring that students' access to education is guaranteed, and that was stated during a tour of affected schools in Westmoreland recently. Earlier this morning, you'd have heard from the Minister of Education. You also heard from the Permanent Secretary, and now we'll be having a conversation with the President of the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica, Mr. Stewart Jacobs, who is back with us this morning. Good morning and welcome, Stewart. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, Richie. Morning to you and your listeners, and entire Jamaica will listen to you. Good morning. Entire globe that's listening to you. Good morning.
Yeah, man. Thank you so very much for rejoining us. Now, Stewart, first of all, how do you respond to the ministry's school hosting initiative for affected students?
Kudos to them. Excellent idea. To be honest with you, that's something that the NPTAJ had put out. Suggesting also, and that would be that we look at the unaffected schools in the eastern part of the country, especially to host students, and we became a bit granular also to say let's look at the
Stewart, it seems you've gone out of range. I'm not hearing you at this point.
Sorry.
Okay.
We had suggested strongly that also the schools that have similar or the same religious denomination that controls them be a part of the process also, because they too would have space at convents and rectories and so on that would be able to host some of these students. We also had expanded it to say that this is where the PTA comes in, where parents who are able to afford it, who have the space, they could accommodate a child from another school, from another parish. So it was an extension also of the entire school community. But very good suggestion by the PS and the ministry by extension. It's an excellent idea, and I do hope that everybody come on board and be a part of it.
Break it down so that everybody understands. When they hear the term school hosting, exactly what are you referring to?
Okay, so let me use one example. Mount Alvernia High School is in Montego Bay, the Diocese of Montego Bay, a Catholic school. Immaculate High School in Kingston is also a Catholic school, owned and operated by the same denomination and the same sect of nuns that owns both of them. So the students who are doing the CAPE and external exams, some of the students who are really affected would come into Kingston, do their classes in Kingston, and are hosted by a parent or an alumnus from that school to stay with them for the remainder of the school year until their homes and the school is ready for classes. In other words, the ministry's objective and our objective and our Jamaica's objective will be met, that the students do not lose the teacher-student, the learning contact. Therefore, when they go into the exams, they are not as disenfranchised as one would suppose. In other words, it's a creative way of ensuring that the education system moves on, because education is not a space. Education is not a space. The learning of our children is not a space. The learning of our children is that opportunity for them to sit, stand, or listen to a teacher impart the knowledge to them. And therefore, if they are in Mount Alvernia High School or they are in Immaculate or Holy Childhood, it matters not. They're in a classroom learning from the same teacher, from a teacher who went to the same teacher's college with the same curriculum.
Yes.
It's a matter of redeploying them to another space. That's what it basically is.
Do you believe that school hosting is at this time the best alternative given the circumstances, or are there other areas that you would want to put on the table for consideration?
It is one of the solutions, and it's a very good solution. As I said earlier, one other solution is to ask the providers, the connectivity providers, to create connections in particular area where you use undamaged buildings or space. It could be a church, hall, a civic hall, even somebody's home that has a space to accommodate a few children to use online classes instead. Provide them with the material that they need, the computers, the laptops, and so on. And then that very same teacher, a teacher who is in Immaculate High School 1D this morning, is teaching to that class, that cohort in Mount Alvernia, in Montego Bay, by using a virtual learning class. Mm-hmm. So what would happen is that they are learning the curriculum simultaneously with their counterparts in Kingston. Another solution is, it's costly, that is to provide field classrooms, similarly to what you do in the hospitals.
Yes.
When we look at Munnings High School not coming back for now. When you look at Pondside Primary School in St. Elizabeth, that school not coming back for now. Mm-hmm. So you could create tents, makeshift, I call it field classrooms, that would accommodate our children at this time, and it would benefit the all in all. So the solutions are there. There is one part of the puzzle that we seem to forget sometimes, because we're so dealing with the children. But I want us to also look at our ancillary staff. Those are the people who kept those classrooms and those school facilities clean and healthy for our children. Mm-hmm. And then our teachers. I mean, I know the JT is doing what they're doing. I know the ministry is doing what they're doing for teachers. Yes, but as our organization, the NPTAJ, we are also doing our best to ensure that our teachers are also a part of the solution plan, the temporary solution plan, and going forward is to ensure that every single school building that is going to be built and going to be renovated and repaired, that we ensure that they are hurricane resistance, up to Gale Force 6, more than even this one. That the roofs are built, or the structure is built in a way that it can sustain it, by either looking at it, putting the beams at the windward side versus the leeward side, where the wind usually comes from, not to use the material that has been used for the last 300 years or 70 years, but instead use ones that have been tested and proved in other parts of the world that makes it. We don't have this problem at all. And to be very, very, very ambitious to ask that we no longer put up electric lines in the air. Instead, we put them underground, as what is done in our jurisdiction, where whenever a storm comes, they still have light and power right through the storm, because their lines are immersed and not on top of where the wind is going to have its field there with it. So these things are futuristic, that our education system isn't derailed too much after a natural
event like the one we had. Excellent suggestions. As you rightly mentioned, some of them will require a lot of expenditure, and as we always say, it takes cash to care. But do you get a sense that enough urgency is being placed on these matters of getting the students back into schools and classes for those affected parishes, or do you think a lot more needs to be done, especially in the short term?
Undoubtedly, I think the ministry has done an excellent job in doing what it has done so far to see to the resumption of school as best. They have been communicating. They have been having consultation meetings, which includes the NPTAJ. They have been giving us information, which is so important, and we see things happening. And so I think that even before the school year, the school term ends, which is another 4 to 6 weeks, barring the Christmas and all that, then we should see something happening. I urge the ministry also that to extend the school year, extend each term to get back at least a month, and it can be done. For the Christmas season, you let the kids go off. So Christmas Eve, which is the day before Christmas Eve, so you really get back the time. Let us learn to adjust. I also would like to see where when we get back to some form of normalcy, that we extend the school week to a Saturday. So you have from Monday all the way to Saturday, and you have classes, and then on extra lessons can be done where it is a cost. I know teachers would want to continue charging for extra lessons, which is understandably that the government and private sector come in and compensate the teachers for the extra lessons, especially the private sector at this time. And PTAs come in and do fundraisers to subsidize the payment of the teachers for the extra lessons. Mm-hmm. And so we extend the school week, extend the school year, and school term, of course. And the other thing to look at overall is long term. How do we create the adjustments, the knee-jerk adjustments when we have situations such as these? Do we still stand by and fold our hands while the storm is going on, before the storm begins, and after the storm finishes, then we're trying to fix here and fix there? A very good example of proactive thinking is what has happened with JPS. In no time, JPS has given us power. Why? They learn from Beryl. They learn from the backlash of Beryl. Let's not wait for the backlash of what our education system can come back up quickly, but to be proactive and look, why is it that our children really need to go back into school? Because the psychosocial thing is what is needed for the first 2 weeks when they go back to school. They'll need to have a lot of psychosocial thing. And even now, before school begins, let's begin the psychosocial and extend it to the teachers, of course, and extend it to the ancillary workers, all those who are within the school system. Okay. Board too, even the board chairman and the board himself.
All right. Now, you are the president of the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica. Stewart, I'm going to ask you in closing to share a message, really, with both the parents out there and the students as well. What do you want to convey to them in closing this morning?
Well, resilient people. We're people set apart. And we have gone through many natural disasters. This one, as you know, are the worst. And especially those in the West. I ask you to continue to be resolute, be honest, be fearful of what it is that may come at you. But at the same time, be compromising, be understanding that as we rebuild our country, as we build the structures, that you must be a part of it. And nothing has really changed. What has changed is just our physical realm around us. What has not changed and will not change is our mind, our thoughts, and our those inhibitions to make it happen. And so I want to wish you all the best for the rest of the school term and the school year, and to keep your eyes focused. To the students, keep your eyes focused on what it is that you are. Let mom and daddy deal with the infrastructural development of the home and the school. You concentrate on being good students and follow the curriculum as best. To the teachers, you are so appreciated. We admire the fact that in spite of all of that, you are getting ready, are already out there teaching our children. To you parents, continue to just hug your children. Just hug them and tell them that you simply love them in spite of all of that.
Mm-hmm. Stewart Jacobs, great having you on this morning. Thanks for your thoughts and your time, and you have a great day. Talk again soon.